like my best friend. I mean that.
Yo, get back!
That's how much notes I took during this movie.
Wow.
I am obsessed with this film.
Wow.
You guys created something truly, truly special, and so I'm really
thank you
excited
so
to get to
much.
dissect it with you all today.
Thank you so much. Can I also say that I love that your outfit is matching your card?
I try.
The
Oh
gold
yeah.
and the-
Oh my
It is all,
crazy.
it's all coordinated with the watch too. It's
Crazy.
everything's very
Crazy.
very methodical. Alex, to start with you, the importance of music can't be understated in this film. Obviously, we center around a musical artist named Oliver, but two of the moments that caught my eye, or caught my ear, I should say, were those rat-a-tat drums the first time that Maddie walks into Oliver's house, kind of building up that tension before we truly understand who he is as a character. And then also, there's a song playing in the background after that pivotal blackmail moment, I'll kind of leave that vague, where the lyric is, "I'm your puppet." Little things like that communicate so much more beyond just a visual standpoint. Can you talk to me about the importance of music here in this film, Lurker?
Yeah, well, I mean, the I'm Your Puppet thing plays, those are the same song, I think, or the two moments you're mentioning, and it's just like, this is how it's gonna, this is sort of this sweet version of the song at the top of the movie, and we kind of know who it's referring to, who the lyric is referring to, and by the second time it plays, it's referring to something else, or the dynamic has changed. I mean, the music was, it had to be believable, it had to be fun. We had to feel like this was an artist that someone could be obsessed with. But I also had like the same guy making all the music and scoring the movie, which was kind of helpful to have like all of these conversations about
Kenny Beats,
contrasting.
right?
Yeah, Kenny, we talked a lot about just wanting to contrast like the sound of the music that Oliver's making with like the kinds of instrumentation and stuff we're using for the score. I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it was very lucky that Archie turned out to be able to sing. Like that wasn't a given.
I got the album pre-saved already. I'm ready. It's good. It's good. I was listening to Love and Obsession on my way here. Like you got some strong vocal
I
cords.
feel like they mixed it better, so like it sounds really good on Apple Music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, better than Spotify or in the film?
Then in the film.
Oh, it's a new mix, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that sounds great.
Looking forward to it. Archie, Oliver says that his biggest fear is being misunderstood. It's quite the line to say when he's saying it to someone like Maddie, who we as the audience know so much more about Maddie than Oliver does.
Of course.
Why do you think Oliver believes Maddie understands him so well?
I don't necessarily know that he does. I think he is. I think that's a hope, and but it's also a weird subconscious power play, you know, of letting somebody know, you know me so well, or you know, I'm so scared of being misunderstood, but I think you actually get me. And then Oliver's the kind of person that, you know, you'd have that connection with, you'd have that conversation with, and then, you know, a couple of days later you might overhear him saying a similar thing to somebody else and be like, wait, what? I thought that we had this special connection. I've definitely had friendships like that in my life where you think that something is very individual to you and you kind of realize that person is just very good at creating these dynamics that feel individual to the person. I think that it's an earnest comment that he is scared to be misunderstood in a world where, you know, he has no true friends, everyone's on the payroll, and yet, you know, it just is a dynamic that he exists in, is the center of, and is his life. And so maybe he wants to be understood, but at the same time, if anyone was to look too deep into who he really was, he probably wouldn't enjoy that either. So, yeah, it's complex.
It's an interesting question because the moment when he says that, which is kind of in the middle of the movie, it is more kind of like this ingratiating tactic that Oliver uses, like you're talking about. Like you might overhear him say that to Jamie in the next scene.
Yeah.
But then when we see that scene come in near the end again, when it's like that piece of the documentary is playing, it is like Matthew has earned that title.
Well, yeah, but he sees, what he sees in Matthew is that he's able to see the version that he wants everybody else to see. Whether it's like real or not, he's like, oh, you see this thing that I'm trying to put out. Yeah, so he like does, he is understood.
Yeah, we'll double down on that in my spoiler question in just a little bit. Theodore, I love implied backstories with characters because we get into this movie and we start, from the ground running of who Maddie is. And he lives with his grandmother. What do you think that kind of dynamic in that household did for Maddie's headspace? Do you think a lack of parental figures maybe influenced some of his, is it fair to say, like sociopathic tendencies?
I don't know that that's really, that's interesting. I don't think that it's what I kind of am interested in. I think what's important, it's, of course, we're telling the story of a little freak who's latching to like a pop star. It's also the story of someone who is desperately trying to change social class for to be out of a certain, to change his life. So at a deeper level, that's not really the story that we're telling, but it is in a way someone who is trying to have a better life or have what he thinks is a way to live a life that is worth living. So yeah, in a way to me, it felt like telling the story of a class defector trying to escape, that his way into Oliver's circle was most importantly a way out of something. He's in his mid-20s, he's living with his grandma, he's clearly lonely, he doesn't seem to have a lot of friends, and he's working a retail job that he feels miserable in. It's the situation of a lot of people, and why not try to aspire to something bigger?
I like to think that if you ever did meet his parents, that they would just be pretty well-adjusted adults, and you're kind of just like, oh, this kind of could have been a normal kid. This could have kind of been anyone. Mm-hmm. And I guess my intention was to not have this be like, oh, he had some kind of traumatic event in his childhood or some absence that caused him to be this way, because that is kind of the typical way of doing a movie like this. I wanted it to feel like this could actually be anyone.
Everyone around you. We all want the same thing. I just want it more.